Hello Cowboy Nation. Let's go to another round of Dallas Cowboys news. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news from your team. Wild rumor, ex-Patriots QB claims Cowboys are hiring Belichick. While it's not a done deal, the final 3 games of the regular season could be Bill Belichick's last as head coach of the New England Patriots. However, even with Belichick seemingly on the verge of being fired or a mutual parting of the ways, many are already starting to name potential teams for his next landing spot. The latest boat comes from former Patriots quarterback turned radio host Scott Zolak, who suggests Belichick could move from one of the NFL's winningest franchises to one with the Dallas Cowboys. To me, this is starting to shape Dallas. You see the Dallas swoon starting to set in, the former Patriot said on the Sports Hub's 98.5 Zolak and Bertrand. They got kicked by Buffalo 2 days ago. Buffalo did whatever it wanted with them. You line up and look at them, they have a great offensive line, a good running back and an outstanding quarterback. You have good receivers. You have good disguises, guys. You have Lawrence Taylor Jr. at number 11, Micah Parsons. You have a great defensive line and good safeties. Zolak went so far as to say it would be a turnkey operation for Belichick, as the Cowboys have boasted a talented roster for many years. However, for some reason, they haven't been able to overcome the proverbial hurdles since the last Super Bowl in 1995. However, even though the Cowboys haven't even made an NFC championship game since 1995, is Belichick to Dallas a real possibility? Related, Patriots Hall of Famer reveals choice to replace Belichick. Judging by a recent comment from Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, there doesn't appear to be any complaints of dissatisfaction with current head coach Mike McCarthy's work, who just earned his 3rd playoff appearance in 4 seasons in Dallas. He's coached 3 consecutive playoff games, Jones said of McCarthy. That makes McCarthy's excellent work a major obstacle to Zolak's prediction of Belichick leaving Foxborough for Dallas. However, things could change if the Cowboys suffer a disappointing postseason exit. However, in the meantime, it seems safe to assume that Belichick will likely end up elsewhere if he decides to coach after his time with the Patriots ends. But the Cowboys learned that nothing can be taken for granted. Last week was strange for the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys' 31-10 loss to the Buffalo Bills was unexpected. And that could very well hold a bigger clue as to what happened. While this is a bit of an inference, it really does seem like Dallas is prepared to face a Buffalo team that would play one way but ended up being something completely different. Although the Bills weren't ruined in pre-game identity management, they had a clear one in passing time, led by Josh Allen. Tied for 3rd for most touchdowns thrown, he was the main engine of the offense entering the game. That should have been good news for the Cowboys, who built their defense to shut down the pass with a ferocious pass rush and a stingy, hawkish second who wanted to take advantage of Allen's propensity for making picks. What you got, though, was a period that almost abandoned passing to attack on the ground, particularly in the form of James Cook. Buffalo's coaches saw a loss they could exploit. There have been games in Dallas that have struggled to contain the run all season. On the first drive, 12 plays, the Bills accumulated 47-meter runs. Allen threw just 4 passes and completed just 2. This was a ball control offense and the Cowboys simply had no answer. Well, except for a 3rd and 4th play in the red zone where the defense had a chance to force a field goal. The pass was incomplete, but DeMarcus Lawrence was flagged for roughing Allen. It was the first, but not the last, penalty that would really improve Dallas in the game. You can't plan for flags, of course, and sometimes we despair that the Cowboys will be able to reduce infractions. What the Bills did was see something happening that could work, and when that happened, they adjusted to focus on that. Clearly this is what happened the rest of the game, in which Buffalo ran the ball 49 times and only found it to pass 16. Why throw the ball when you can simply methodically march down the field and score points? It still wouldn't have been an issue if the Cowboys could have stopped Cook and the rest of the ball carriers. In a season where Dan Quinn made some very good settings, there was no effect in this game. This is where it sometimes comes down to long-term planning and preparation. It may also include a premature injury or 2. Dallas attempted to address its running back issues in the offseason, drafting Motzie Smith in the first round after trading for Jonathan Hankins in 2022. Hankins was unavailable for this game, and the initial occurrence could be that Smith missed. However, the initial answers are not always the best, and that seems to be the case here. According to PFF, Smith was actually one of their highest-rated defensive players, with only stars DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons, and Stephon Gilmore ahead of him. And the grade does not reflect the crucial feedback Lawrence received. Hankins' absence was likely more problematic, as Smith was only on the field for 49% of defensive snaps. There was a weak link in the defensive line, most likely Osa Odigizua, who was very poorly evaluated and was on the field 75% of the time. This is where the issue of long-term problems comes into play. Odigizua has had an excellent season, but is more effective in passing. It's a little too light to be a true run stuffer. That's what he was asked to try to do, and the results speak for themselves. The way the Cowboys are constructed was a major contributing factor in this game. The rest of the defensive line also had bad days, including Carl Davis, a 335-pound defensive tackle called up from practice time to try to plug the hole left by Hankins. But Dorrance Armstrong, Chauncey Golston, and others also had big problems. They would have done more to prevent this from happening, their pipe technique did, although the small linebacking group could have made it difficult. It also didn't help that players like Donovan Wilson and Damone Clark left the field at times, as they and many other players were just getting hit by a physical, intense opponent. Another thing Dallas took for granted was that the offense could score points on the Bills. This is a key part of Mike McCarthy's investigative strategy, and for much of the season it worked very well. It's hard to figure out what went wrong. There seemed to be multiple causes. Dak Prescott had a bad day at the office, something that sometimes seems to happen to him. He's not alone in this. All good defenders pose occasional problems on the field. The final 3 games of the season and the upcoming postseason require him to bounce back, something he has clearly done before. But it also falls into the set of things you can't automatically assume will happen. It doesn't help that Zach Martin was injured or that other members of the offense had bad games. Another thing Dallas took
one
for granted
player who was good
the
against the
offense
Bills
could
was
score
Tony
points on the
Pollard,
Bills.
but with the large deficit,
This is a
the
key
team
part
was
of
forced
Mike
to pull back
McCarthy's
from the
investigative
race.
strategy, and for
Fights
much
on
of
the
the
road
season it worked
continue
very
to
well.
confuse.
It's
They
hard
only
to
have
figure
one
out
more
what
road
went
game
wrong.
against a good team. This
There
week's
seemed to be
contest
multiple
at the Miami
causes.
Dolphins.
Dak
With
Prescott
the very
had
real
a bad
risk
day
of
at
going
the
into the
office,
playoffs
something
as
that
a 5
sometimes
seed
seems
and
to
having to
happen
play
to him.
away from home.
He's
He's
not
more than
alone in
worrying,
this,
as
all
well
good
as being
defenders
so
pose
occasional
occasional
problems on the field.
That means the Cowboys
The final
face a lot
3
of
games
questions.
of the season and the upcoming postseason
Should they respond,
require him
however,
to bounce
something
back.
else some of us
Something he
didn't
has clearly
expect has
done
kept the
before.
door
open for them to still
Comment,
have a chance
what
at
did
the
you think
NFC
of this
East title
news?
and home playoff games.
Don't forget to like and
That was
subscribe
the
to the channel
Philadelphia
so you
Eagles
don't miss
loss
any
to the
news from
Seattle
the Dallas
Seahawks.
Cowboys.
While many didn't
Thanks.
consider this a far-fetched idea before it happened, it seemed more unlikely that the Eagles were in a 3-game slump. It also seems unlikely that Philadelphia will lose another game, as both meetings with the New York Giants cap a game against the Arizona Cardinals. We also cannot take this for granted. Just a few days ago, many of us, raise his hand, felt like it was all over in the playoff race. This week, Dallas will once again have to play on Sunday before finding out how the Eagles do on Monday. They had another chance to take care of business and then let things happen. Let's hope it goes very well. Comment, what did you think of this news? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news from the Dallas Cowboys. Thanks.